There we go. Right, so I've got to think about how we're going to do this light. So I was going to go outside, but now I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a PVC conduit along the top of that piece of boarding you can see there, which is the worktop. And then I'm going to come along here and then just, there we go, there's the lighting view now. So from the end of the light, flexible conduit to the wall, then hard 20mm PVC conduit along here. I think somewhere about there-ish, there'll be a connector, and then come along to the end, and then flexicon onto the light. I think that is the neatest and nicest solution. So that is what I'm going to do. We'll come back to you in a moment when I've done it. Okay, so a slight change from what I was speaking about earlier. So what I've done, just come up the ladder. So what I've done, straight piece of PVC 20mm, saddle there, metal, saddle there, metal. Then this is a female 20mm adapter. We've got a female 20mm adapter there. And these, then we've got a nut there that connects in, and a nut there that connects in, that's connecting into the flexible adapter, which is this one here and this one here. Then a short length of flexible 20mm conduit connecting into both of those, all screwed together. That's held in place there. That is going nowhere. That's all pushed in, that's all pushed in. That, I think, is a very elegant solution. I think that looks really nice, really good. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. That is going to be duplicated at the far end. Right, I just thought I'd show you this. This is where we've got up to here. So what I've been doing out here is just getting this prepared, ready to roll. So this is all now attached to the wall. As you, from what I said earlier on, we've actually extended this down. This is the obviously the SWA cable that's going to go back to the main building. This is the earth from the earth rod, which is on the other side of the building. As you see, that's come up through, and I've isolated it from the earthing block here. That's plastic there. That is not touching that, and that won't touch that either. So there's two lots of protection there between there and here. So that is not going to go anywhere near this. But then none of the earthing is going to come through here. Well, that's not true. The SWA sheath obviously will be connected into here and will actually be on here. But I'm not going to connect this, isn't going to the box. So the earthing of the sheath ends here. Remember what I said earlier on in the video, that the actual protection for this is coming from the main building. The earthing on the sheath will be connected into the main consumer unit over there. So I'm going to run that up and through here. These boxes I will put in the description as to which ones they are. They're Whisker 302s, I think, but I might be wrong. And these actually fit these boxes. Okay, they do other ones for the larger boxes. You might have remembered that was the original. No, that's not the original larger box. Oh, that was the original larger box, which I had on there. But these are 25mm cutouts. That's why I went back to these. These are 20mm cutouts. But I've got Wago 40 amp connectors, which I will show you later for this. So I'm going to use those. So I'm going to run that up into here and into the consumer unit, and then we'll go from there. You'll notice that we've had a bit of a bust out on the other side of this wall, which I'm going to have to fill. I'm going to have to do that. Unfortunately, like you say, this is so thin that it's unavoidable. I don't see a way we could avoid it. This is solid concrete with massive great rocks in it. It's like, if anyone's done any geology, it's like breccia. It's like that kind of stuff. The stuff in between these really big pieces of rock and stone, it just crumbles the moment you try and drill into it. So yeah, it's been a real problem. So I'm going to fill the other side of this. So I will do that when I'm all finished. Right, let's go and see how easy or hard it's going to be to thread that earth cable through there. There, oh, we'll do it. There we go. Right, let's pull that through. A lot of it. Right. Yeah. Now you're supposed to be able to get 3 6mm cables down a 20mm conduit according to the regs. I'll tell you what, it ain't easy. Right, so that needs to go up through that hole. Right, you straight up and around the back, please. You're going to fit on there. So, you might be asking why I've now got such a large junction box on here, or even a junction box at all. And it'd be a fair point. Just when I started this job, I had a different idea of how I was doing things, so that's why it's there. If I'd have known now, if I'd known then what I know now, I probably wouldn't have even bothered with that. I'd probably just got a pipe straight through. But it is what it is. It is what I've done. So there you go. So I want that to be. Let's go with that about there somewhere. Yeah. Let's try that again. Absolutely useless bit of stripping that was. Right. That's better. Yeah. Right, where's the Grimpy? Where's the Grimpy Grimper? Right, get that in there. I tell you what, that takes a bit of doing. Crikey, that is in. There you go. So that is in. Right. So let's stick it into its terminal, and guess what I've left outside. Let's just stick it in its terminal for the minute so it's out of the way. Like I say, I haven't tightened any of these up yet, and I'm not going to until I'm all finished. Once I'm done, then I'll do it, but not until. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Might sort that out later. Yeah, I'll sort that out later. I'll tidy that up later. That's probably so it's maybe a bit over long. It's just that's better. There you go. You know our way to do it when you hear what it does. There, that's nice. Good. Right. Now, the other thing I've done is I've taken advice on this. I'm actually going to, not now, because I'm doing other things, but before I finish this job, I am taking those ferrules out. The advice is you don't use ferrules into these. So I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to use them on here. But I'm doing that. So they'll come out before we finish. Good thing I've left enough cable on them. So yeah, so we'll do that. But anyway, so that's done. That cover can go back on. Yeah, like so. There we go. There. So that means now that the earth rod is connected all the way through to here, and not back to the main building because that's not done. So there you go. So I'll just put the cover back on outside. That'll protect all these cables, and then I'm going to finish the lights. Now that glue's probably set off by now. I just want to do a close-up view so you can actually see where all those terminations are. So you can see the ferrules I've done at the top, and like I say, the ferrules at the top of the RCPOs I'm going to take off and just terminate those normally. Like I said, I've taken some advice about that, and the consensus is you don't do that, so I will take those out. Okay, cables, all the conductors, all run through, so I had to use flexible conduit on this bit because I forgot. Of course, if I come around this side, I dropped the level of this light, which I think it was way lower than the main beam, and that would have been a pain to do a set to do that. So I've had to run flexible conduit along here. It's going to be attached to the wall properly, but I'll do that in a minute. Flexible conduit back into that fixed, and along. Woo, there's like the cable. So these cables are all prepared. Not putting ferrules on those because they're a pain in the arse in the other one. Now, you might be wondering, why have I done that? Well, two reasons. The main one is I was having real trouble getting all that lot all the way down the conduit. So I broke the cable there. It also means we can do a bit of maintenance on this other second light. We can, if you want to isolate it, just disconnect it from there. Or if they want to move lights or they want to do anything else. So it's maintenance really, to be fair. There's no problem doing that. And I actually do think it's actually quite neat to do it there. That's what I feel these inspection points are for. That's a 3 box, but it's also an inspection point. So why not use it as a junction as well? That's what I'm sticking to. Anyway, so they're all done, they're all the right length, but before I want to hook that up, I am actually going to take the opportunity to actually test the lighting circuit for continuity and do my IR testing. Now obviously I can only do 250 volt on here. Mind you, with the new regulations you only have to do 250 volt anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I might as well do that while I'm here, get it done. I can test the switch while I'm at it as well. And then I can hook all this lot in. Like I said, those ferrules on the line of the neutral, they're coming off. I'll do that in a minute. I might as well do that while I'm at it as well. So yeah, so I'm going to get the tester and let's go and see what readings we get. Alright, so I've got my tester. So let's connect everything up. There we go. Right then, so we're going to do our R1, R2. R1. R2. Now, move the camera. Whoa, down here. Here we go. Right. So we're all set up at the other end. Let's just see if this spaghetti cable is plugged into the tester. Right, null these. There we go. They're nulled. Right then. One onto there. Whee, that's probably gone out of shot. And one onto there. So they're nulled, but the light switch is currently in the off position, so I shouldn't get a reading. That's good. Now we're going to put the light on, and this is where we find that nothing works. Light switch is on. Let's see if this is actually done. Yo! 1.07, 90, 88, 89, 91, 91, 94, 95, 109, 1.09, 1.32. Now it could be because obviously you can see these are dangling right off these cables, so that's probably the reason why. 0.34 now, so 0.34, 0.34. Oh, we're stable at 0.34 now. 0.36. I think we'll re-null these leads. Let's try this again, shall we? Turn it off. Continuity. See what I am going to do. I do have the odd problem with this, the earth part of this. So I'm going to switch it back. I'm going to use the blue. Doesn't matter. But there are occasions when I've had issues with the green. I'm going to have to get myself some new cables. I think we'll just grab the other crocodile clip. It's just fluctuating a bit too much for my liking, so I just want to prove that there isn't a problem. So we'll null these leads down. Okay, so they're nulled. Let's try this. There we go, now the light switch is on. Yeah, there's something wrong with those, the green ones of these leads. That's now stable at 0.29. Yeah. So I've got a problem with, I'm going to have to replace one of my test leads.
Good job.
Let's just prove the point. Just turn the light switch off. Absolutely fine. So yes, it looks like I've got a problem with my green. Either my green test leads or my green crocodile clip. One of the two. Good start, isn't it? Right, so just remember that for the rest of the tests when I do them, not to use the green leads. Right, so while we're here, we might as well do the installation resistance tests. Might as well do that while we're here. So I've removed the jumper from the board. Okay, so we've got the line and got R1 and R2 here, and they are totally separate. Go back to the board. The board isn't connected up. Okay, so there should be nothing. So let's put us on to IR testing. So there we go. So on the IR testing, 250 volt. Okay, we've got greater than 2000. Let's turn it off before we move the lead, so I'm not going to get myself brisk having a shock. So we've done the R1, we've done the R2. Okay, so we're finally finished in here. At least all the hardware side of things is all finished. So there's that light, that's all up nice and neat and all solid. I've left the covers at home, so I'll get the covers and bring that in tomorrow. So that's all done along there. All back to that light, down to the switch, up back to the board. There's the board. Sockets all the way along there, and wah, all the way along there. And at the moment we've got the earth conductor go through that junction box outside to the rod. Cool. Finally we finished it here. Right, so got the tails into the main switch now. These are the 6mm. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm thinking of actually shortening these down, making it a bit neater, get those out of the way, making that out of the way, because this end is not too bad. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with this to make this neater, because it's a bit... I'll have a fiddle with those, but these, I think that I'm going to have to cut these down, make them slimmer, and then I'll maybe tuck them around the back here somewhere and do something with those. I've also got to take those out as well. We're going to get these through here. We've got to get the SWA terminated outside, which we'll do. So I'll set the camera up outside and we'll get these through, and then we can go for that. And I'll show you the new Wagos, which I'm hoping just sort of show you very, very quickly. If this will let me do it. I don't know whether it will or not, but it might. Give me a second. Right, so these Wagos in here are specific for 4mm and 6mm cables, these ones. Okay, they're also rated at 41 amps. Now, you might think, what's the difference? Well, those are your 32 amp Wagos, which will go up to 2.5mm. Okay, you can see if I put them there, that's the 41 amp version for 4 and 6mm cables. That is the 2.5 32 amp version. You can see the size difference between them. Okay, the good thing is you won't get a 4 or a 6mm cable in there. Okay, so you're not going to get them muddled up. You're not going to try and put a 47 amp rated cable into one of them, but you will get that into that. Why did I say 47? Because that's what a 6 amp cable is rated at. 4 amp cable, 4mm cable. I'll check it. I can't remember, but anyway, you can't get the muddled up. You can't put a higher, you just won't get it in there. Okay, it just won't work. So these are the big ones. I don't know if Wago do anything bigger than that. These will only take up to 6mm cables. I think when you're getting up to maybe 10 and above, you're probably looking at screw terminals anyway. Probably you're probably not looking at these type of terminals. Anyway, I just want to show you that. So these are the ones that are going to go in outside. So we'll go and get that all terminated. We'll get this cable pulled through into the box out there. Then we'll put the video on and we'll demonstrate demonstrate how to do SWA cables. Any electrician who does SWA cables will tell you the number of times that this doesn't go right first time, and I bet you it won't go first right for me first time. The trouble is, if it goes wrong, you have to restart all over again. So I just hope, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, it goes right first time. You'll see why it can go wrong when I go out there. I hope you can see what I'm going to get up to here. It's a bit tricky. It is a bit tricky, but anyway, not a lot of room to work in. So here's the 6mm cables in from the board. There's your 6mm earth going off to the rod, and somewhere of it. Here we go. There's the SWA cable, which we're going to sort out. So it's a big old boy, this cable. Got plenty of it, so yeah, there's plenty of this cable, so I can probably get away with stripping this right back. Oh, let's have a look to see what we can do here. So this is the storm gland that I was talking about, so we'll just unscrew that. These screws hold it into place, you see. And I'm going to gently put it into place and probably get rid of the bottom two pieces. So that's what the sheath is going to clamp onto. I hope you can see it on the camera. There's like a conical thing there, and there's a little ring in there. Whatever you do, don't drop that ring out of here. It may look like it's just a normal, like a wedding ring or something, but it is actually chamfered just about. You drop that out of there and it's very difficult to work out which way around it should go back in, and if it goes back in the wrong way, this will never go together. Never. Don't drop that out of there. I've done it and I've never been able to get the thing to work again, because I just couldn't work out which way around that ring is supposed to go. So whatever you do, if it does come up or come out, note which way up it is. Because it won't go together the wrong way up. It's you can't eyeball it. You can't eyeball how chamfered it is, but it is chamfered. And it only goes in one way. Anyway, I digress. So this comes apart in 3 bits. So that bit is in there. That bit is there, and then you've got this last piece. Oh, I did it off. And this last piece has a washer inside it, and as you tighten that down, that grips the cable. So that goes on first onto the cable, onto there, like that. Okay, so you normally you can put that on at any time, but obviously get it on before you do anything else. Once you've done, sorry, my bad. This bit also goes on there, okay, because this is what goes up. So this, let me get this right, okay. So you've got that bit attached to that. This bit grips the sheath, grips the metal sheath. This grips the cable. That's how it all goes together. So that tightens up, and you get your mold grips, tighten it, mold grips, tighten that, and that you tighten into there. Okay, reasonably straightforward. Watch me make a right hash. So you get that into there, and I'm just going to measure this up a bit now, just make sure, because I've got enough cable here. If I get the measurement slightly out, it is not going to matter, because I've got loads in the trench that I can just fiddle around with. I'll push it back into the trench or put it up. So realistically, I need to be cutting somewhere about there, and then I don't know whether people have been taught this, but it's like a finger width or thumb width or something like that, something like that, and that's how much you cut for the. You don't need a lot for the metal bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut. I think I'm going to cut it about there or thereabouts. I'll just get my tool. So we're going to use this, the armour slice from I think it's from Seco. Yeah, it is. So we're going to use that to do our cutting. If you've never used these, what these are designed to do is these are designed to, when you're taught, you use a hacksaw, and you'll hacksaw this through, and you'll hacksaw through the metal, then you can bend it all off. This is supposed to do it in one go. It does work. It's a bit of fun and games. I would admit that it is real fun and games trying to get this to do things, but it does do it. So, and let's just get it in there. So, as I say, we're going to get this cut about. Yeah, we're going to cut it about there, I think. And I think the issue is am I going to mount that to the wall as well? Actually, I might cut it a bit further up. I might cut it about there. Give me some room. So let's tighten that down. Let's tighten that down. There we go. Right, let's see if we can do this first time. You'll hear it when it starts to bite through the metal. You can hear it grinding. There you go. Probably can't hear it on the video. Okay. Okay. Right. and then I'm going to use my knife to actually pull it off there. Now, probing tool, you cut away from me when you're doing this. Right then, so if that's all cut through properly, I should be able to just undo a couple of these, bend them down, and they should just come off. Sometimes they don't. This is the bit that always goes wrong for me. Yep, and it's done exactly that. Knew it. Try and do this on camera and it goes wrong. This is why I hate SWA cable. It is a pain in the bloody backside. That is a dog's dinner. I'll be absolutely honest with you. That is a dog's dinner. That is a dog's dinner. I'm not happy with that. Absolute dog's dinner. Right, well, yeah, I'm not happy about this. This is going to delay me quite a bit, but you see a lot of videos where people do this and it all works fine first time for everybody. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work for everybody first time. Sometimes it goes to cack, which is exactly what's happened here. So I'm not taking this out, I'm leaving this in, because I want to show people that sometimes even the best of us, this goes wrong. So, what the hell am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to be bluntly honest with you. Now, before I do anything else, let's get these on. Don't want to forget putting that on. See, that's taken that. Good. It's taking that off. Oh dear. Oh dear. I've got grave doubts about this, if I'm honest. But at least I'm showing you what can go wrong with doing these SWA cables. Let's hope at the other end it goes right, and I can show you the way it is supposed to look. In the comments, and I appreciate there's going to be some people commenting on this, I'd love to know, even from seasoned electricians, how many times this goes wrong for you. Genuinely, how many times does this go wrong? Because I would be hugely shocked if anybody was to turn around and say, no, it goes right every time for me. Really? I find that hard to believe. Right, SWA take 2.